Yes, I am originally from Virginia. Just moved to LA a little while ago. I got an apartment. Got a loud sex neighbor in the apartment. Anybody have a loud sex neighbor? You guys are all the loud sex neighbors. Liars. Oh, and it's not the noise that keeps me up. It's an hour and a half every night. And I live with my girlfriend. So I'm just laying there going, sorry. I can't do that. That's a really long time. So all I'm saying is if we happen to have any man stallions in the audience, I'm just saying, hey, do a favor for us other guys and just don't raise the bar so high. You know? We know you're a superstar, okay? We all know you're a superstar, but you're making the team look bad. That's all I'm saying. I live with my girlfriend. It's fun. I think she has a drinking problem, though. Yeah, every time she gets drunk, she thinks she's really hot. And can dance. Like, we'll have a good time, you know, we'll be out having a good time, we'll come home, I'm getting ready for bed, she's bursting like, hey. You want this? How hot is this? What do you want to do? Go to bed. You want me to dance for you? No. I will. How hot is this? How hot was that? I got my problems too, though. I do have my problems too. You guys ever have that dream that you're peeing? And you wake up and you're peeing? That's like the most comfortable sleep you'll ever have. You're just laying there like, yeah. No! Only problem is I live with my girlfriend, so I peed on her. I don't want to tell her I did. I'm like, hey, wake up. It's hot in here. You're sweating. I'm going to sleep on the couch. That's mean. That's wrong. That's mean. But things happen for a reason. They do happen for a reason. I do believe that. Because I was in the mall the other day. I sneezed and crapped my pants. And I know that happened for a reason. Don't know what yet. Maybe it's God going, hey, you really don't got the legs for shorts.
Can't even have a solid one-night stand in LA. I tried to bring some waiter home with me on New Year's. I put in like 2.5 hours of prime time Chelsea time. No? And we get back to my place. He goes, I don't feel comfortable spending our first night together. It's like, listen, Lupe, this is our last night, all right? Get your hopes up. Get out that piñata. Let's get this party started. There's some sick stuff going on in LA with men, single men. I want to talk about it, okay? I want to talk about it. And now I'm just as much of a romantic as the next girl. But if I'm dating/sleeping with a guy and he shows up on my doorstep with beads and a flashlight, I'm gonna ask a couple of questions. Like, what's up with the flashlight? I have a question. Do you guys think it's okay to drink while you're pregnant if you're planning on giving the baby up for adoption?
Thank you very much. Man, 2008 coming to a close. It's been a big year for me. A couple big things happened in my life. First of all, I turned 40 years old this year, guys. And no, don't clap for that. It sucks. Things change. I gotta stretch before I have sex now. I get cramps. Get off! Get off! I gotta eat some more bananas. I was worried about turning 40. It's a big number. And I read an article on Yahoo that made me feel better, because if it's on Yahoo, it must be true. It said that 40 is the new 20. AT&T is the new singular. I'm making 250 the new 125. And why stop there? With that math, why can't 6 inches be the new 12 inches? That's just a joke. So a couple big things happened. The other thing that happened, I got married 2 months ago, and no, don't clap for that either. Marriage changes when you get older. You know, this is my second time around. First time I got married was about 18 years ago. It was a very traditional Latino Catholic wedding. It was extremely traditional. My girlfriend was pregnant. My son was the best man. It was traditional. Different this time, because love changes when you get older. When you're young and in love, it is that love that hurts. It's that, don't leave, I'll kill myself kind of love. You get older, you're still in love, but it's more like, leave before I kill you.
I'm actually sick of dating guys who are commitment phobic. I'm sick of it. So I decided from now on, I'm only dating married guys. I did date a married guy recently, but I didn't feel so bad about it, you know, because he was Mormon. Right? After we slept together, he was like, I feel so guilty, I just cheated on 3 wives. It's like, what about me? Okay, I have to live with the guilt of just having given 4 people craps. Like, hello. No, I actually have a boyfriend. I do. He's out of town a lot though, you know, so I just miss him a lot, you know. Sex just isn't the same without him. It's much better. Awesome. Oh, sorry. No, he's adorable. We have an open relationship though. We do. I open his emails. I open his cell phone. We have little nicknames for each other too, actually. Like I call him Cupcake, and he calls me occasionally for bail.
Sex is a wonderful thing, man. I love all kinds of sex. I love oral sex mainly. It's a wonderful thing. You gotta be careful though, because I had a tragic muff diving accident a few weeks ago. And I made the mistake of not protecting myself at all times, you know what I'm saying? And fellas, like, you gotta be careful when you're going down on a girl, because if you do it too well, you can hurt yourself. And because if you're doing a girl, like, handling business, she'll turn to another person in your bedroom. And this chick turned to a UFC fighter on me, you know what I'm saying? I was down there handling business, just yelling to go, hee-hoo. She started to orgasm. Next thing I know, she locked that leg around the back of my neck. Next thing I know, I'm in a triangle choke, like, what the hell? This girl is Anderson Silva, help! I'm all like, I tap, I give up. She can't hear me because she's like, I wake up 15 minutes later, she's holding my legs in the air so the blood goes back to my brain. She's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I wake up like, girl, you tried to drown me.
I want to have my own perfume, just called Von Hagen. The wind cries. Von Hagen. For those special nights when you want to smell like vodka and chicken wings. Von Hagen. I'm tipsy. Von Hagen now comes in mild, medium, and suicide. I'm always worried things are going downhill with my boyfriend, because this is how I act all the time. And so I started reading Cosmo magazine for tips. And here's a tip, don't do that. I don't know why we read it. I read this one article, 101 ways to turn on your man, right? So I'm like, yes, I need 100 ways. I already have one way. Everybody has one way, you know. My way goes something like this. Men are not complicated creatures, you know. And that works, but I need 100 more, you know. And one of the ways I actually suggest is when talking to your man, gently rub yourself. Hello? Von Hagen. But then it said in bold letters, but don't scratch. I think I figured that out in grade 5. Guys don't dig itchy chicks. But the big thing in Cosmo, right, is if you want to spice things up, you have to talk dirty in bed, you know? Talk dirty, do it, talk dirty. But they never really tell you what to say, right? So one night we're lying in bed, my boyfriend's here, and in my head, I'm like, this is it. This is my opportunity to sex it up. Because I'm creepy, I'm looking over at him, I'll watch out. Watch your back. And he's just reading, all innocent. Then he turns to me out of nowhere and goes, hey, why don't you turn out the lights? And I panicked. I was like, oh yeah? Why don't you come over here and show me how to turn out the lights? That is the best I could do. I'm not turning him on, I'm just confusing him. He's like, what? You know, did we buy a new lamp? You know. Now I've confused him and started an argument. Why'd you buy a new lamp? Where's the other lamp? Why are you always rubbing yourself when you're talking to me?
I'm not ready for kids, I'm not gonna lie, you know? Like I'm hardcore, you know? Like I wear condoms on my tongue, like I'm that dedicated to not having kids. I'm Mexican, you can't play around, you know? Let's be real. Took my wife condom shopping and she said, all right, go ahead and grab that package. I'm like, what? She goes, grab that package. It said ribbed for her pleasure. Like, what? I got them, but I wear them inside out. Why should she have all the fun? You know what I mean? Like, it's supposed to be good for the both of us.
But you know what? I'm digging the traveling. I didn't get to travel much at my last job because before comedy, my wife and I were both prison guards. It's true. And you know the interesting thing, though? Every time people find out I was a prison guard, they always want to know the same thing. Have I ever caught two men having sex? And the fact of the matter is, I did. It was at a rest stop on the way to Modesto. And the tattoos in prison can be hysterical. I kid y'all not, I had a guy in my block, he had a pair of hands tattooed on the cheeks of his butt. He did. Like he had a guy up in there trying to get out. Which I don't understand, man. And I recently took a tour of San Quentin, and they took me to the block where Charles Manson did his time. And that was kind of cool for me, because I was like 5 when Charlie was doing his thing. And to me, he was like the boogeyman. Yeah. Now you see him in real life, and he's like 5'2". You know, I'm sorry, y'all. I refuse to fear any man that's not even tall enough to get on all the rides at the park. You know?
So he said, Dad, if I got 5 mice and 4 pounds of cheese, and they take half the cheese away, how much cheese each mouse need to eat to get an equal share? I looked him straight in his eyes and said, son, don't be asking me no shit like that. You know I'm lactose intolerant. And I don't know trigonometry. Ask your mama. One of my best friends came over to the house with his boys playing PlayStation with my boys, and he asked his son Tommy to take out the trash. And Tommy said no, and kept on playing PlayStation. Now my boys jumped under the table. They thought some stuff was about to go down, you know what I mean? So the next day I asked my son, I said, Enrico, take out the trash. He says no. Kept on playing PlayStation. Now about 30 minutes later, his older brother came out of the room and said, hey Dad, I have not seen my younger brother lately. I said, that's right, son, you are now one brother short. I don't play that stuff, man. School system's all jacked up, isn't it? Teachers having sex with the kids nowadays. Where were these teachers when I was going to school? Kids calling 911 on their parents, sir. Can you imagine calling 911 on your mom? I grew up in a house with a rotary phone, y'all. 9, pa! Never mind. Click it. Wrong number. I'm raising stepkids too, and everybody raising stepkids are a hard job. Because as a step parent, you don't want to hear those words they say, right? You're not my dad. You can't tell me what to do. You're not my dad. Simple solution, step parents. Just put your arm around a little stepkid and say, you're right, little stepkid. I'm not your dad. This house, not your house. That flat screen, that PlayStation, that food refrigerator ain't your shit.
The same 3 questions. That's why you ain't gotta worry about that if I'm making love to you. You ain't gotta worry about that if I'm making love to you. You ain't gotta worry about that if I'm making love to you. Cause I'm telling you, I'm gonna be making love to you talking crazy. Tell me that you're cooking for Cocoa Puffs. Tell me that you're cooking for Cocoa Puffs. Who shot Tupac and Biggie, huh? Who shot Tupac and Biggie? Who the hell is Mike Jones, huh? Who the hell is Mike Jones? Why Lucky Charms magically delicious? Why Lucky Charms magically delicious? I can't hear you. But you ever mess with a girl who talks stuff back to you? Yeah, you look like a girl talks stuff back to you. Yeah, I know. You talk right back, don't you? Let me tell you something. Last week I was making love to this girl. She talked more crap than me. But let me tell you something, Ice House. She said something so freaky to me, it threw me off. And I'm a freak, because we starting to get hot and heavy. I'm kissing on things, starting to get passionate. We starting to get hot and heavy, hot and heavy. I'm giving her everything I got. I'm giving all 7.5 inches. I'm giving her everything I got. Okay, it was 3 1/4, but I was pumping real fast. I was pumping real fast. I was pumping real fast, so it felt like it was 7.5. And I guess she got excited. Because she looked me right in the eyes. She was like, you know I used to be a man. You better not tell this to nobody. I'm Jamal Doman. Thanks a lot, y'all. Appreciate it.
I got some pretty bad news the other day from my gynecologist who told me that I got herpes from my vibrator. That is the last time I buy anything on eBay. Speaking of romance, I'd like to talk about my last birthday. Now, are there single girls here who get vibrators for their birthday? Yeah, okay, yeah, right. 1 or 2 is kind of funny, right? 11 isn't. Okay, when I go out to dinner with my girlfriends and I get 11 it's like, what do you guys think of me? You think I'm sitting at home fucking double teaming myself? What? All you need is 1, okay? I get it, Jessica. God forbid I died in the middle of the night. My mother had to come clean out my apartment, you know? Find 11 vibrators with like 4 pornos, one of them about a family, no. It's humiliating is what it is. I have this fear of commitment solely because I have a fear of becoming one of those happy couples, you know? The kind that are always running around like a couple of pigs in shit. So happy for themselves, you just want to fucking break up. You're like, oh, I have a roommate like that. We'll call her Camel Toe. And she is so annoying. All she ever talks about is her boyfriend, and all he ever talks about is his feelings. He's like 2 minutes away from his first period. And he writes her poems like a little fucking homo. It's like, guys, if you're writing poems, you're making up for some other shit, okay? We know, okay? You're making up for, like, you know, a big hairy back or one ball or something. I don't want poems. Save the ink for somebody who gives a shit, okay? I don't want poems, I don't want roses, I don't want you calling up radio stations, you know, dedicating Celine Dion vagina music. No, thank you. Pay my rent, motherfucker. And we'll talk about how much Chelsea loves you.